Hey, everybody, Natalie Cutler-Welsh here, and welcome to Empowered Connections, aligning your life and business. I'm so excited to connect you guys with powerful people to help you do just that, align your life and business. Today, I'm talking to the amazing Ruth Copeland. She's from Resonance app. She's, in fact, the co-founder, which is a new app that is going from strength to strength because it's doing what we love, which is connecting the collective. Hey, Ruth, welcome.
Hi, Natalie. How are you today?
I am good. It's so amazing to meet with you in person a few days ago in Wellington, and now to be basically sharing your message with people far and wide here on this interview today. So let's dive in. So before we get into the Resonance app and how you just how you created that, give us a little backstory. Like, who are you and what are you up to?
Well, yes, and my name is Ruth. I live in Wellington in New Zealand and previously from Nelson. I can say I'm an international person. I spent 20 years of my life living overseas in different places, but most of that in the Netherlands, in fact, where I spent 13 years in business there. I was a graphic designer. So I had a little business over there and I did quite a lot of comms and stuff as well. And it was a fascinating experience to sort of understand, the machinations of how a sort of quite a progressive society functioned. And then I came back here to New Zealand, 2001, I think it was, 2002, and lived in Nelson. That's my hometown. So, yeah, it was
love Nelson.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, sunny place. I really enjoyed my time there. I ended up doing events for a while, and then finally I ended up on the city council for 2 terms in governance, which was, again, really fascinating to sort of understand the machinations of how decisions are made and, how the little city ran. Yeah, and then I moved to Wellington. So I've been here since 2017. And I moved to Wellington to sort of get amongst it a bit more. I wasn't ready to retire quite. And I felt I'd sort of done what I wanted to in Nelson. So yeah, I found myself here.
You know what I find so fascinating about, humanity and life in general? I feel like we go around, right, collecting experiences, connecting with people, right, putting them in our basket or our backpack. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you get to a point where you're really tapping into those things. And I feel like for you at this point, with this app, it's like your graphic design skills of creating things and making them look lovely are coming in, but also those skills that you had, when you were on the council and connecting people and trying to make an impact. And I know that's what you're doing. And for me, same as you, ever since forever, right? I've wanted to have a massive positive impact. And I really believe in the power of people coming together. And so I love that whole bringing people together and, connecting the collective. So let's go into the Resonance app for a little bit. And I'd love to hear what is it? Who's it for? And maybe a little bit of the origin story, which means like, why did you create it? How did it come to be? And can you hold it up and show us too?
Oh yeah, no, I can certainly show you. So the Resonance app was sort of born out of an understanding that life's going to change fundamentally in the next few years. And there she is there. There's the Resonance app on my phone. So I like what you say, Natalie, about us being the sum total of what's brought us to this point in life. And, I could talk for ages about, where I've come from. My father designing a social enterprise 30 years ago before the word was even heard of. Yeah, especially that Dutch experience of seeing those types of organisations in practice. And then, of course, my communications background as well, indeed, has all brought me to this point. But in the end of 2021, there was a sort of a dislocation in society, I guess you'd call it, where quite a large section of the population weren't allowed to go to work or weren't allowed to socialise. We were all in a difficult position, and particularly New Zealand businesses. So with that in mind, myself personally, I was sort of busy trying to connect people on a personal level that sort of had similar values or had found themselves in a difficult situation. I went to the beach one full moon evening and met some lovely new people. And as I was leaving, I think it was a full moon, I asked one of these young guys, I'd love to get your phone number so I can connect with you later. And he was like, I wish we had an app or something like that where we could bring everybody together. And it so happened that I actually had an app. I missed out that part of the story. I had an app when we came to Wellington called the Wellington app, which was a news and business listing service. But it had been sort of dormant for a wee while. And I had known at the beginning of setting that up that it would be useful to have the technology understanding, so that if we did need to be in a position where we needed to connect with each other, we'd have a sort of a digital platform to do that. So it's a roundabout way of telling you the story. But ultimately, when that young guy, Ewan, who's now my partner in the business, he said, look, we need something like this. And it was just a match, I guess.
It's almost one of those moments, right? When it's like,
it certainly was.
What I love about that is so many businesses, are, the word pivot is very overused, but they're evolving. They're not even pivoting. They're evolving at the moment. And I feel like you had this, Wellington app that was right. And now it's like evolving, and it's becoming this app that's not just for Wellington, it's for business owners. I think you use the term heart-centered business owners. Is that right?
Yeah. It's for heart-centered Kiwis to find like-minded people and produce and services and business listings and customers as well, without the middleman. So it's like a big phone book, really. You can connect with anybody on there directly. So that was our aim, is just to make sure that there was a place to collectivize. And again, born out of that fracture, if you like, in terms of those that are allowed in and those that aren't. So we started like that, but of course we're very much accessible for everybody, and we want to make sure that we provide a useful tool for the collective going forward.
And one of the things for me, when I'm looking to connect with people, is I love having a really good search feature, something if I want to connect with other wellness-based people. So I'm a visibility and impact coach, specializing in working with wellness-based businesses, and specifically people that want to speak or share their message or do Facebook Lives and things like that. So I love that I can go in there, I can search wellness, or I can search if I want to look for how can I get some amazing food, or find some products that are a lot, like-minded owners. I can really search. So can you let us know what are some of the categories or the headings, or how can we search within the app?
Sure. So you can search within every category. It's location based by default. So the app will serve you up, if you like, the listings that are closest to your current location. So by default, and you can see there the distance from yourself that everybody is. But so of course we've got a lot of holistic health and bodywork sort of listings and coaching, that type of stuff. We've also got some interesting categories like land share, which land share is the concept of people who have available land, who want others who are looking to move to land to match them up, because there's quite a few people doing this at the moment, and they're also looking to set up permaculture gardens and different styles of building dwellings, eco-housing, that type of stuff. So we have a full category for that. It's a sense that we have that the future may look quite different than the current situation, and that could happen quite quickly, that things might change. So we want to give airtime, if you like, or have a place for people that have got concepts around new economies. So we have economic concepts in there, as well as things like time bank and gold and silver. But we also have new political parties. There are parties that are popping up in New Zealand at the moment who have a sort of a new paradigm thinking about the way we should walk forward in politics. So we want to give them a place to be and collectivise as well. We've got stuff in there like connect, so that anything from connecting communities of interest to finding new friends, and there's even a romance button on there. So if you're looking to find love and somebody in resonance, similar values, I would say, heart-centered for sure. And some people hold quite a strong understanding that life is very different than what's presented. And I guess you'll find these people, well represented in resonance.
I mean, I do believe in the power of timing. And I feel like right now, this is very aligned with what is needed and what people are seeking. So congratulations on, basically having it already in the works, but then tweaking it, evolving it to be open to those type of people, more people, not just Wellington. I want to do a quick shout out. You mentioned love. So Tarisha Taruk introduced you and I think you said to her, hey, who do you know that knows a lot of people? And she's like, you need to talk to the go-to girl. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Natalie Cutler-Welsh. A lot of people know me as the go-to girl because I am a super connector. That is my superpower. And Tarisha, she knows that about me. And so she introduced you and I. We hit it off. I was so excited about what you were doing. Yes. And I really am a huge believer in what I call CoOp Petition, right? Yes. I know when you and I chatted, I've mentioned this before, because I have a club. It's called Empowered Connections Club. We do Zoom meetings. We meet at the beach. We meet in real life here in Auckland. But I'm like, hey, your app, I love it. I'm going to spread the word about it. It's not competition to me. It's exactly CoOp Petition, meaning you and I have similar goals. We want to bring people together. We want to strengthen relationships. We want to help people feel like they belong. We want to help get services to the people that need them and make it super easy. So of course, and what I do is I shine the light, right? I shine the light on people, powerful people, and getting their message to the world. And that's what you are doing. I'm so excited about what you're doing, and it's free. So let's talk about, how do people, if they're thinking, oh my God, I want to get a listing on here, how do they do that? And what is the cost?
It's really easy. There's no cost at the moment. We're quite newly set up. We launched in April, but we're really starting to go from strength to strength. Just overnight, we had more than 450 downloads and about another 45 listings or something come in. So we're really starting to feel the momentum picking up. And we've decided to keep it free at this stage. We may in the future offer promotional opportunities for our listers. So on our own social channels, we'll do shout outs and perhaps interview people, but that's all in the future. Our real understanding with this is we needed to build it so that it existed. And we've decided to do that as volunteers and in service, because we really believe in service to the collective deeply from our core values, both myself and my partners, the other two co-founders. So I work with Ewan and Marnie, and they are a new couple. Shout out to them. They're incredibly awakened young people, 25 and 29. They're actually twin flames as well. So they're in a romantic partnership. They're absolutely incredible to work with. And we're all, we just volunteer and apply our daily efforts to creating resonance and to spreading the word about it. And we sort of believe, we understand that it will be sustainable somehow, and that solution will come forward for us. That's the way we live our lives. And you could call it walking in faith, whatever, manifestation. When we need something, we focus in on that, and that turns up pretty promptly. We're finding more and more that is happening. It's lovely that you spoke about alliances, because we have lots of different alliances. The Resonance app, we also keen to work in that new way of collaboration and cooperation, because we are all in this together. And it's so inspiring for us to meet other initiatives that have that same intention on their hearts. And so we're having Zoom meetings quite often with other aligned organisation, and just building each other up, and the excitement and the thrill of actually how business can work together, and everybody rises together. It's a new way of thinking, absolutely new way. Yesterday we had somebody reach out from a new organisation in New Zealand called the People's Health Alliance. Now, this group is going to be setting up, they originated in the UK, and I think there's about 70 hubs in the UK, and then now they've spread to 11 countries throughout the world, and New Zealand just picked it up. So this is a concept of health hubs outside, with allopathic and holistic health practitioners, as well as doctors, nurses, and emergency facilities, and the whole shebang, because you'll understand also in England and New Zealand that the health system is under a lot of pressure. And this future again could look even a little bit more dramatic. And so it was wonderful as an example to connect with these people and really have that reflected back to us, how they work in a similar cooperative, volunteer, lifting each other up, creating what we need, and receiving support from others, other businesses, and ultimately the universe. I mean, it's an unusual way to speak about business, but actually we're at the forefront of a huge shift in society. And that's what Resonance is all about, is allowing that basic platform for businesses, for us to find produce, for us to find people, for us to put our shop out, show our wares on there, and to think about, new ways of being. Just while I'm on that subject, we have a bulletin through the Resonance app. So we're just starting to get people submitting articles for that bulletin or podcasts, and that's so exciting for us. It's basically a place where anybody can upload something that really speaks to them, that's in high resonance. It's all about eyes off the old and onto the new. What's next? What does that look like? Everything around holistic living, new paradigm economics, regenerative technologies, these things that we're going to have to figure out going forward. So it really is a platform for all that really great content as well. And through that, again, those partnerships are building because people are coming to us and we're able to give them a shout out and enrich ourselves and our understanding of this process. So it's just an exciting, tremendously exciting thing to be part of.
It is. And it's huge. It's what's coming to me is it's helping things to transform. It's not so much, oh, things are crumbling, let's try to help people. It's, no, you guys, this is the new way to do things. That's going to be, it is a transformation of, I think that, the health industry and the way that we do business and the way that we show up, which is really exciting. It'll be tricky and challenging, but it'll be really exciting as well.
It is.
Which is amazing. Now you said something about, one thing I wanted to ask you about yourself, your daily routines. I wanted to ask, what is something that you do daily as part of your routine to help you to stay grounded or stay connected on your path?
Right. Well, I try to meditate when I wake if I don't get too distracted too quickly. So yes, I try to do a daily meditation practice just for about 20 minutes. And in the last few days, I've also sort of added in some gratefulness thoughts as soon as I wake up. We're in a period of quite intense energies. I follow astrology and the cycles of the moon, and I personally, being a Capricorn and this super Capricorn full moon, I've had some shaky ground myself over the last wee while. So yeah, I'm sort of adding in that gratefulness, hand on heart, and just loving myself as I first wake up, so that I know that I'm safe and secure and loved and I'm here. And then a meditation practice. When I'm in good timing and not running late, I try to do some little bit Pilates. There's an Align Life studio with Lauren Roxburgh.
Oh, I love the name of that.
She is amazing. Check it out if you haven't yet. Align Life Studio. She has some beautiful foam roller Pilates kind of exercises, which are really luxuriously easy, but fully strengthening and stretching. So I love to do that. And then I love to jump on my rebounder. I've got a Bellicon rebounder, and I do about 11 minutes of that and get all my lymphatic.
Okay, we're going to need to see a reel on your Instagram later of you on the rebounder. There's my request.
Yeah. So I love to get my physical going. But another thing that is really, really important is getting out into nature on a daily basis. And I'm very blessed to live here right on the coast in Wellington. So I do try to get out every day, regardless of the weather, and just spend some time with nature. Nature's an amazing thing because she always keeps on rolling, especially the ocean. The breeze, the different qualities of light, and the creatures and animals out in nature, they exist regardless of what's going on inside us or inside our minds. And I think that's just a perfect reflection, just to allow ourselves just to have that little bit of time out. So those are sort of my basic sort of routines. And yeah, I think more and more, we do need to stay very grounded, especially as we're stepping into these unknown areas of life. And there's a lot of uncertainty around the future. I was speaking to one of our listeners yesterday, and actually she's setting up a health hub in Wanganui. She was talking about living from lily pad to lily pad, stepping one foot into the next with fear and trepidation sometimes, because it's very unsure what's the next step. I can say for myself. But what's happening, I find, is that the universe is coming in very quickly to support that initiative. And of course, the water's all underneath there, and some of the scary stuff, we don't know what that is either. But it's just that moment to moment living and walking our talk, and we're all in this together. We're all learning, we're all growing, we're all facing ourselves, our beauty and our shadows. And so resonance is really a community of people who understand what we're doing. We're walking forward and offering our skills and services to the collective, and at the same time finding new friends and connections.
Completely. And there's never been a better time. So many people say to me, recently so many people have said, Nat, I just don't want to do what I've always done, or I don't want to do things the way I've always done them. And there's never been a better opportunity, in chaos, you can create actually what you want. And so one of the questions I'll throw to the audience, you guys comment below, what are you ready to, lovingly let go of in your life? And sometimes I do this, like you're closing a chapter, be it a relationship, a friendship, something in your business that's not working. Maybe if you're a service provider, it's a service that you've always done, but it doesn't bring you joy anymore. So what are you ready to lovingly let go of so that you can courageously, and this says courage, my jacket back there, courageously create what you feel called to create right now? And you've obviously done it. You're doing it right now. You're courageously creating this app, which is amazing. And I imagine you possibly had to, lovingly let go of some things, because obviously we all have 1,000 things we could be doing. But it's like, what do you actually feel called to do and to pour your valuable time and energy and effort into? So that's awesome. That's really cool. Hey, one other thing I wanted to mention, just back to the app, music, right? So, I talk a lot about business owners, but it's also like artists and musicians, and right?
Absolutely. So we've got lots of artists and musicians in there. And so it's a great platform to discover each other as well. That's very much, what would life be without art and music, right? Celebration is so much a part of who we are as humans. And as times get tougher, we need to party even more. We did a great party in Wellington actually about a month ago. We brought together 3 sort of different tribes, and we started with a cacao ceremony, and we really set intention around this period in history, intention around the Resonance app. And we, I asked our friends and collaborators to sort of put their energy there. And then we had a wonderful band, Blue Aura, Kate and the team, and then we had a couple of incredible DJs. We danced the night away, and that's really part of who we are as well, because we do need to keep in resonance and make sure that every part of our being is supported, and that includes that party side. I'm a party girl from way back. I've always enjoyed a really good dance, and hopefully that'll go long into the future. But we'll keep those going in Wellington as well, because it's creating that the high vibe really, and that's a job for all of us, isn't it, at the moment, is to keep our resonance up. Not it's not to say we deny what's not so high vibe. We need to confront and absorb and surrender and love that, actually, very much so. I'm finding in my own journey it's about loving that. That's the uncomfortable part. But again, just music and art, absolutely love it. I'm just looking in here as well to see if there's anything we've missed. Workshops, of course, workshops and events. There's so many people that are stepping into their own truth, like you say, Natalie, and offering their services, their skills and their knowledge, and they're offering to teach other people. So Resonance provides a platform for those people to, again, attract the similar type of people to partake in that.
I love it. I mean, I did an event here in Auckland. It was the first one for about 3 years that I've done, and it's called Align Your Life and Business. And now it was such an incredible feeling to get together in real life again. Now we're doing the same thing in Tauranga. So you're saying I can put that on the app, for example.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. No, we've got workshops and events on there as well. And again, if there's anything, like a new movement that you're beginning, or something that you really want to get some real airtime around, we can put that through the Bulletin as a form of a promo as well. But it's not advertising. We don't do advertising per se, but again, it's that mutually supportive, because we all understand that, by doing that, we are lifting the collective consciousness, really, if you want to get down to it. That's what we're all about.
Exactly. Okay. So on that note, I love, the power of the reintroduction. So how Teresa introduced, us together. And then I've got lots of people that I want to tell about this app because it's so incredible. So for those people listening, yes, of course, I would say go, if you feel called, go ahead and list yourself. So we'll put the link below, or you can just search up Resonance app. But also maybe think about 3 other people that you feel like are aligned and could really benefit from being on here, or even using it. Maybe they don't have a business, but that they want to connect with heart-centered, like-minded business owners and services and products and music and things like that. So even a little shout out, whatever you want to do to help Ruth to spread the word. And I feel like if we all just do that, we are going to raise the vibration together.
Absolutely, Natalie. Thank you so much for mentioning that. Yeah, it's all about partnerships. So we're really keen to hear from anybody that's got a large network as well that this really speaks to. Please get in touch with me personally. So you can find my number on the About Us button on the Resonance app. And yeah, we just like to encourage people to think sort of laterally about how they might use it. Like you said, Natalie, somebody might not have a business that they need to list or they want to advertise, but they might be looking to start a men's group, for instance, like somebody put a listing under Connect Community saying, you know, I want to start a men's group in Wellington. Does anybody else want that? Another thing I did, and I do need to tell a story, is I actually put a listing for my little room in my house here under accommodation. There's a button that says stay with me. And I thought, oh, this would be good because I get to meet some interesting people and make a little bit of pocket money. So I've had some interesting connections through there, but one in particular really stays with me. And that was earlier on, you know, a month or two ago, a fellow contacted me through the Resonance app, and he had been down at the protests in Wellington. In fact, he was a Hare Krishna. He'd been down there cooking for people, him and quite a few others.
Amazing.
And he had found himself ostracized by the organisation, in fact, for being present there. And he was feeling down. He'd been 40 years in service to that organisation. So he was quite down, really. He arrived and he was like, oh, you know, and but we had such a wonderful time uplifting each other about all the possibilities. And yes, things are changing, but look what could be. And we talked and we had such a wonderful connection. And he left here, you know, very inspired and ready to go out and excite others with the power of potential. For me, it was incredibly uplifting as well. So, you know, there's things you can do through the app like that, like, you know, put yourself in there and put yourself to find a friend. You never know who might turn up in your life. I think a lot of people have been isolated recently. A lot of people working from home, a lot of digitization of our life, and it can leave us feeling, you know, isolated and alone. So, you know, think about how the app might work for you, and you're welcome to put questions in there or seeking rather than offering, you know. So, you know, we're really flexible. And one last thing, if you actually do have a whole other functionality you'd like to see in there that might suit your organization or business and you don't see it yet, please get in touch and let us know. At the moment, we're just putting categories in there that align to the listings that come in, but if you don't see what you need, yeah, get in touch and we'll create that for you to make sure that we you know, serve the collective in the best way we can.
I love it. It's evolving all the time. Something that I ask all my guests is, do you have a tool, an app, or a resource that you love and you want to recommend?
Yes, I would recommend the Gene Keys. It's a study that I've been doing for a wee while now. It's a path of contemplation, but I have found that to be the most incredible, insightful understanding of what makes up this vehicle of me. I'm in my late 50s now, and it was a gift to myself in terms of self-knowledge and understanding my capabilities and the things that trip me up as well. So genekeys.com, if you go on there, you'll find a free profile creator, and it works off your birth time. It's a sort of, seems to be a sort of a combination of astrology, human design, and the I Ching. And you can do your own profile, and there's audios, you can have a wee listen. And if that resonates with you, I would really encourage you to look further into that path of contemplation, because it's given me a lot of insight and courage. Insight and courage, and to know, you know, what I'm all about. And yeah, so I hope over the next sort of 20 to 30 years of my life, you know, that I can really start you know, using my talents and skills to for the benefit of all, you know, and that's what we're all here to do, isn't it, ultimately?
I think so too. You know, I love that. Well, I'll put the link below, you guys. I've got the human design. We've got the posters on our walls of every member of my family, all 5 of us, me and my husband, our 3 kids. Yeah. So I'm a generator, which may not surprise you.
Not at all. Me too. I'm a manifesting generator.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Hey, before we wrap things up, is there anything else you want to add or say to the audience?
Oh, goodness me. Well, download the Resonance app now and get in. It's happening. It's starting to go off. We had a call yesterday from somebody in the UK wondering if we want to go international. It's going to work. I think this is going to be really exciting, and we'd love to have you with us on this journey. And feel free to collaborate, contact us, co-create, come up with suggestions. And we actually would love to find some volunteers as well, because it's getting very, very busy. And app creator, because we've got some IT improvements that we really need. Obviously, we don't have the money nor the skills to implement those. So if you happen to be an app creator, please get in touch as well.
I love that. I love that you're asking for what you want. I'm a huge fan. I always say, up your brave. Say what you want and make it happen. And sometimes the make it happen is not do it yourself. The make it happen is allowing people to come in their own superpower and together create amazing things. So thank you so much, Ruth, for joining us today.
You're very welcome, Natalie. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. You guys, I'll put the links below. Go and get the app. We'll connect with you guys on Resonance. And until next time, this is Natalie Cutler-Welsh with the Empowered Connection Show. And we'll see you guys next time. Upyourbrave.com. See ya.
See you. Bye-bye.